Welcome, welcome everybody to the World Mental Health Day. That's coordinating with Can Be Well, the Canadian Association of Bioenergetic Wellness, and and IASK, the International Association of Specialized Kinesiology. My name is Marianne Hanna. I'm secretary of the IASK and the treasurer of the Norwegian Kinesiology Federation, and I'll be your host today. So, welcome everybody. And as we gather today for this World Mental Health Day, let's take a few minutes to arrive fully, to be present, body, mind, and energy, so that we can get the most out of this time together. So, please, if you feel comfortable, place both your feet on the floor. Rest your hands loosely in your lap. Close your eyes and allow your spine to lengthen gently, like a thread drawing you upwards. So take a slow breath in through your nose and releasing out the mouth with a quiet sigh. So let's do that again. Be real gentle with yourself, breathing in ease and exhaling any tension from the day. Breathing in fresh, clear energy and breathing out all your stress and tensions and busyness. Now, bring your attention to the point where your body connects to the chair or your feet to the floor. Imagine a steady column of support rising up beneath you. This is your anchor. Allow yourself to sink into that and to be held by your anchor. As you breathe, notice your biofield, your energy field, the space just around your body. Imagine smoothing that field, like brushing your hands through water, clearing static or clutter. You can do this physically with your hands if you like the kinesthetic feel, or just imagine it sweeping and smoothing. With each breath, let your system settle into balance. Finally, place one hand lightly on your heart. Sense the natural rhythm there and let your mind come to sync with your heart. For today, for this hour, give yourself permission to be present, open, and curious. When you're ready, gently release your hands and let's step together into this circle of learning. A circle made by all of you, the presenters, and all of you in the circle. Jill, it's very good to see you, and I'm very happy that you can be the first presenter. Um, you you sent me a little bit about yourself, and as I can see, you've been working with the corporate world for over 15 years, and as a neurodivergent dyslexic kinesthetic learner, you have blended the corporate world into the physical world of fitness industry for over 30 years. You're also a scuba diving instructor, which is really something. And as you can see, you have you had your twins and other global events encourage your energy to take a different part into the more holistic way of working with body, mind, and spirit. And then you found kinesiology. You say that you find it a fully inclusive therapy to work with all things energetic, bring together aspects of how our psychology, bioenergetic, nutrition, emotional, mental, and spiritual in balance. So please welcome Jill Bauer.
Thank you very much. So thanks for that introduction, and I'm hoping to bring all of that into the theme that we're working with today, which is burnout. So coming from the corporate world, we tend to think of burnout as career and professional. But let's have a look at burnout. Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, mental exhaustion when left unrecognized or unsupported, may significantly impact one's mental health. If allowed to continue, linked to depression, anxiety, and reduced life satisfaction. So, it's a topic that isn't quite fitting into mental health, but it's a syndrome that can easily turn into mental health conditions, and why I've chosen it today. So my theme is looking at the micro and the macro of burnout. And the micro is the small burnout. So think about if we've overdone it, been very productive, had a really successful day of running around, we can be burnout in that particular 24 hours. But we come home, we sit on the sofa, we'll have a cup of tea, we might listen to music or put the TV on, and then have a good night's sleep, and then we're recharged. And so there are different types of burnouts, from the small into the big. So the macro burnout is a little bit harder to recognize because it's a slow building and it builds up over time, maybe months or years. So I tell the story in the journal in my notes about when I was on a course and I met this young lady, and everybody on the healing course that I was on was avoiding this lady. To me, she looked very interesting. And then when we broke during lunchtime we had a simple buffet, I asked if I could chat with this lady. And what I noticed straight away was her plate was piled up really high with food. And she was a slight little thing. And I said, wow, you've got really good appetite. You look really interesting. Do you mind if I join you? And I was listening to her story. So she ended up being an aid worker in the Congo. And she was sent home to the UK. She'd obviously in a state of burnout. And I said to her, wow, well, what are you going to do to rest and recover while you're home? And she said she was going to go skydiving. So straight away I realized, okay, this lady is in some trauma and she's in a burnout state. And that very first stage of burnout is one where we're full of energy, we're over energized, we're excitable. And the way that she was going to recover was from doing high intensity activities, risk activities. So I could relate to that because of my scuba diving years. And I used to go scuba diving with sharks to relax. And so that is the macro burnout, when it's building up and building up. So, but if we leave burnout to continue, then it can lead into different stages and then finally into breakdown. And we want to avoid all of those things. So with each and every stage of burnout, I like to use like the match metaphor, where normal is the match hasn't been lit, but this lit match. And think about we use the word lit as a slang word for high energy, high excitement, motivation. You know, that person's lit. And that was that young lady from the Congo. She was lit. And we sometimes think we're superpowers, super women, and we don't know how to regulate our energy. So as we go through the 5 stages, there are different symptoms and different behaviors and different signs that bring our awareness to where we might be in that stage. Stage 1 is excess yang, and that excess yang is, it can be quite addictive to be yang, because we're full of energy. Well, like our batteries are full, and we're very productive in whatever frame of activity we're doing, whether it's our career, being a carer, being a mum. You know, we can, that stage is very, very addictive. And we don't sort of recognize it as burnout. But as we go down the stages, which we go from excess yang into deficient yin. And so therefore each stage might require different tools and techniques. So burnout isn't just being in the workplace, although it's recognized as that. Within our careers, we can get burnout. In the career world, in the corporate world, we want to climb that corporate ladder. We'll say yes to projects. Does anybody want to take on this project? Yes, you know, and then we run with it because we want to build our careers. And then after a period of time, we can get into burnout, which can lead to a lot of time, you know, off the workplace. So then what else happens is when we're exhausted, we then take a vacation. And what happens to a lot of people in burnout, they get vacation sickness or executive sickness, where you go on holiday and you should be laying on that beach relaxing, and you can't sit still. And you end up with a host of symptoms like flu symptoms, headaches, migraines, aches and pains, stomach digestion issues. And we think that it's something to do with the holiday, but it's when our body starts to slow down. And so there's a lot of syndromes that come up with burnout. And obviously I've written loads of notes in the journal for you to have a look at that. But what can we do as natural bioenergetics? What tools can we use to help us manage the different stages of burnout? So the first thing that's really key is awareness and recognition. So recognizing where you might be. So for me, I've had maybe 3 big events in my life when I've been in certain stages of burnout. One in my corporate years, hence why I turned to more healing. When after I had my twins, 12 weeks after my twins, I just thought I was going to go back to normal. And then I had a burnout there. And then as I went through the menopause. So it's not just our careers, there's different things that can provoke this burnout. And so let's have a look at the tools that we can work with today. They're simple, but they're powerful. So in your notes, you have a list of burnout metaphors, idioms, and these words or these phrases or these sentences may provoke a feeling, and you may be pulled to one of them to work with. So if you're a practitioner, obviously we can do muscle response testing to see which one a client may need, or which one, a self-testing to see which one we would need. So what I come up with today was
Do you
for the
want me
group.
to share screen with you?
No, that's fine. I mean, people can
Okay.
read the notes. So
Yep.
what I've done today is to pick a group idiom phrase that we can work with. So this one is very apt. A computer frozen mid-task. So think about what's happened right at the beginning. And that excitement of trying to get those things fixed and frazzled and sort of knocked out of balance. These things happen, and they are micro burnouts because we've had to utilize and draw in some energy to help get us through that sort of phase. So the point that we're going to be working with is kidney 3. So you find your inside ankle towards the back where the Achilles heel is. You can cross your leg over and you're going to think the phrase. So our phrase for today is a computer frozen mid-task, which is absolutely spot on, because when we logged on to the Zoom, it was saying it looked like the session was in progress and we were just waiting and we was in a holding pattern, but clearly that wasn't the case. So this is, picked a spot on for today. But go through the list. You might find other ones that resonate with you more. And obviously this list could go on and on and on. And so we're just holding kidney 3. And kidney 3 is such a brilliant and beautiful acupuncture point. It does many, many things. And then just wait for a shift. You might notice that you want to take a breath, you yawn, you swallow. There'll be a shift to say that's complete. And so I invite you to work with that list, those list of phrases. So the other one that comes up for me, being neurodivergent and dyslexic, I can get very overwhelmed. And so for me, my go-to is the K27 points just underneath the collarbone. And if there's a lot going on or I become a bit yang, then I can sometimes blow my fuses. And so for me, K27's just gets me out of my head, back into my body, and, helps me to be present in the moment rather than off thinking. And then just work with these. We can hold them, we can tap them, we can rub them, we can use both hands over them, and we can breathe into these points and just take a breath. So all of these ones are really good for micro burnouts. And then breathe out. And the third technique that we're going to learn today is from Qigong, and it's called bear rubs back on tree. And so if you've got a chair at your back, or if you've got a back scratcher, or you've got someone around that can rub your back, literally we're going to just rub the back of our back against the chair, or think about a bear who rubs their back up and down and across on a tree. And this is from Qigong. And that just supports all the back shoe points, balance the bladder, meridian, and it just feels great and refreshing. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed that. Any questions, please let me know.
Thank you very much, Dill. That was wonderful. I sincerely like the bear hugging the tree. So the next presenter, I want to present Demetra Samaras. I hope it's the right way to pronounce your name. Yeah, and Demetra, she's a master life coach, certificate Touch for Health and brain gym instructor who uses specialized kinesiology techniques or bioenergetic wellness tools to meet her goals of being dedicated to helping individuals build self-awareness, set meaningful goals, and overcome personal obstacles. With a wealth of experience in international movement and coaching, she empowers clients to unlock their full potential and bring a little magic into everyday life. We are really looking forward to listening to Demetra. So, welcome.
Thank you very much for the amazing introduction. I appreciate being here. I appreciate sharing everyone's energy today in something so important as self-awareness and self-help and things that can help people that are in the office or just in everyday life. It's great that I was right after Jill, because piggybacking on that, I'm a huge advocate of you cannot give from an empty cup. So we need to take care of ourselves first in order to be able to help others. So in the years that I've been an energy specialist, if I may say, what I've learned is if I don't take care of myself first, I'm unable to give to my clients or to my family or to anyone that's around me. So I today will speak on switching, which is something that we do both in Touch for Health and in Brain Gym. A very simple, may I use the word procedure, that we all know about with the meridians and with certain points on our body. So switching is energetic reversals or confusion, which could be apparent during reading or writing when numbers and letters seem to be reversed. We can clear random confusion if we can flip the switch to create a mutual sense of energy flow. By clearing the energetic confusion in your nervous system, we allow the brain and body to communicate clearly. By doing so, we minimize confusion in thinking, feeling, and coordination of our body. There are times in our lives when we have too much or too little energy that goes through our bodies. Maybe a stressful event, or perhaps just a stressful day, today's meeting, trying to log on to Zoom. This can trip the circuit breaker in our brain. In this case, we can check 3 different switches that could have been tripped. For example, top bottom goes off when we have things like we are stuck in an emotion. We just cannot let go. You are stuck reliving in that particular emotion over and over again. Maybe emotionally charged event that can be the trigger to trip the switch. We can start by placing one hand over our navel and with our other hand using 2 fingers, rub just above our top lip and just below our bottom lip. So it would be here and here, and our other hand would be on our belly button. By doing so, we are bringing attention to the governing vessel and the central vessel, which would be GV26 and GV24. This helps us with emotions, clumsiness, walking up and down the stairs, disorientation when looking up or down, possibly a tendency to confuse the letters P and B. Another electrical pathway that is commonly off or scrambled is your left and right side. This can cause stressful learning. Has it ever happened to you to be online for so long that you are unable to absorb any more information? Whether online or in person, the scrambling would be the same if you are unable to focus anymore. This would be connecting the left and the right sides of the hemisphere of the brain. When you rub your K27s, it activates your brain so that you can learn more easily. For example, you are midday and just cannot learn or focus anymore. If you want to be more alert and more able to absorb more information, all you need to do is rub the K27 points as mentioned earlier. You would find them here and here. Take 2 fingers and simultaneously rub 2 indentations just below the ends of the collarbones. This could be caused by confusion between left and right, as well as a possible tendency to confuse the letters D and B. When we activate these special points, we activate the body to send messages to the brain or both the left and the right sides of each hemisphere. The brain is now able to absorb more information. Has it ever happened to you to look in the mirror while trying to back up your car and not be able to do so? Why would this happen? In the occasion of driving and looking in the mirror, that would be the front back circuit of your body is possibly switched off. It can also reflect when someone is stuck in the past. They cannot let go of the past. An example can be a coworker or a friend who has done something in the past and just can't forgive them. You still hold that same charge as if it had happened recently. Summarizing, switching would be used to balance the electrical pathways of your body. By rubbing certain points on your body, you would be bringing attention to those scrambled pathways in order to close and amplify this circuit. We place our other hands on our navel or belly button when we close the circuit. It produces electrical current that can run through the pathway of your body. Bringing attention to your body is as simple as rubbing these particular mentioned points earlier. This way you are able to stimulate both sides of your brain. We use both hands and switch sides in order to activate the opposite side, of the brain. This way the whole brain is switched on. Your right hand will activate the side of your left brain, and your left hand will activate the side of your right brain. This way both hemispheres are connected. There's a small but long membrane in the middle that connects the two, which could be referred to as the communication hallway. You cannot see the electrical currents as you cannot see the Wi-Fi in your home or office, but you know that they are there. Your body has these same current-like pathways that when stimulated can help you. Help you let go of emotions. You are forgiving but not forgetting. Help you speak, learn more clearly, and focus better. Help you put things behind you so that you are not stuck in the past. Now, I invite everyone to follow me to do a clearing. And if you would be following to what I'm doing, switching points can be as simple as just rubbing here, rubbing the back of your tailbone, and just giving your body that energy boost that it needs for that day. These are simple points that are very powerful that connect the left and the right side of your brain if given the chance to be emphasized while you're doing something in order to help yourself to move forward.
Thank you, Demetra. These switching points are really powerful. I
Very.
know because I teach touch for health as well, and when we forget those, everything seems to be out when we start testing. So that's wonderful, Demetra. But then we go on with Marian Egan. Is that the right way of pronouncing your? Yep, the good. Global Award winner, international speaker, author, artist, energy healer, course creator, and healing card deck creator. She's have over 30 years as a holistic practitioner, and she transforms lives by addressing the root causes of physical, emotional, and mental pain. Combining more than 10 professional modalities, including kinesiology, brain gym consultant, emotional code practitioner, and NLP, she empowers individuals to heal themselves. Marianne, creator of the Healing Card Deck series, combines art and healing through hand-painted imagery and frequency-based messages. Her tools and courses, accredited, accredited by the International Kinesiology College, offers fast, effective self-healing. Founder of Heart Art Magic and an international speaker, Marianne inspires lasting transformation, guiding people towards balance, vitality, and joy through her innovative, compassionate, and proven methods. So please welcome Marianne.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And it's lovely to be here. It's great to be able to participate, particularly with like-minded professionals. So I feel very honored to be here and to present. If I may, I want to just show a few slides, if that's okay. Can I share my screen? Okay, if you can let me know if you can see my screen, is that okay? Is it showing up?
Maybe I have to unmute. Yes, we can see it.
You can see it. Thank you. It's great. So I'm going to present with double doodles. And this is so close to my heart because this is what I do on a regular basis. So what is double doodling? I'm sure you all know what double doodling is, but it's the act of moving both hands in a symmetrical pattern, which connects the corpus callosum. And that is the bridge between the right and left brain. So the key benefits are it enhances whole brain integration. So when you've got two hands and two sides of the brain, that integrates the brain into one unit. It improves the hand-eye coordination, and it also helps boost focus and concentration. Reducing stress and anxiety. And I know this to be true because I do this on a regular basis. It really does help me when I feel in that stressed state. It's my go-to, and it's so easy to do. So it encourages creative expression. I can really relate to this because the creativity that, explodes within me when I start doing this. I actually paint using both hands simultaneously, using double doodles. I start off painting that way. I end up bringing in brushes after that, but I actually physically put my hands in paint and I double doodle with the paint on my fingers, and I paint in that way. And then it strengthens the visual and motor skills, supports emotional regulation. So it's helping, for me, it helps to express what you're feeling. And when you express it in this way, it's now no longer sitting in your body, it's now outside of you on the paper that you have just expressed it on with pencils or pens. It also improves memory and learning. It's a great way for relaxation. I'm sure most of us doodle when we're, doing something on a phone or whatever, you doodle away. I know I do. It also helps to balance the thinking, and it's ideal for all ages. So now I'm going to invite you to let's do it. So if I can, let me stop screen sharing, and what I would like to do is, if I pull you can see I've got, can you see not that you need to see it, but the double doodling, the first thing I'd invite people to do is notice how you feel. First of all, just notice how you feel. Is there any discomfort in your body? And if there is discomfort in your body, where is it? And on a scale of 0, 0 means there's no discomfort, and 10 means there's wonderful comfort. So where is that scale? If there's any neck discomfort, back or hip, wherever it is, just notice it, write it down, and now set an intention. So what the intention, it could be, my body and mind are fully connected and balanced, or you decide on what your intention is. So I'd invite you to do this with me. So once you've got your intention and you've got your scale, where are you on this comfort level? Then just start with your doodling. Now, I have noticed, in clinic, sometimes people would start off by doing this, where they're going in the same direction. It needs to be in a mirrored direction. So your right hand going in the right direction, left hand going in the left direction. And all you're doing is just letting the child within you come out to play. And how many times do we just let go and just feel the movement of the pen on the paper, how it actually makes you feel as you relax more into it. And what this does is it calms down your central nervous system. And this way has been working for me for a very long time. I introduced art into my practice many, many years ago. And for me, it was a lifesaver. Imagine having your hobby as part of your business. That's the way it has happened for me. So did anybody have discomfort if you had, just maybe raise your hand, or if you noticed any change within that, because now I'd invite you to have a notice in your body. Has that discomfort now been released? And now that you feel more comfortable within yourself, you know, we have free will or we have free won't. It's just our choice. The choice is to do it and notice the change. So just a couple of points. When we have got our two hands working at the same time, that mirror image, it's so magical when you think about it. I know for me, it has been a saving grace in every way, from a personal perspective and also from a professional one. What I have seen has been absolutely amazing. I could tell you story after story, but each stroke, it unites your left and right brain. So you've got your logic mind and your creative mind now connected. So now you've got the ability to be more productive, feeling, and then also going from that beta frequency, which is where your cortisol is running like muck around your body. And it brings that lovely state of calmness and into the alpha, theta, and the gamma, which is, to me, is your automatic mode. It's where your body goes into that, letting the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocin, which is your love hormone, come out to play. And again, it's just letting that childlike essence within you. It might only be 1 or 2 minutes. An ideal situation is to have some Post-it notes. And even with a Post-it note, it doesn't even have to be a piece of paper, just a tiny Post-it note. You could have it in the car. You don't even need pen and paper. You can double doodle in the air. You don't have to do anything else but doodle in the air. You don't need any supplies at all. So it's a great way of relaxing and releasing. And remember, you don't have to be an artist to do this, okay? Because your body remembers what it's like to be, that child within you is coming out to play. And it's not about the art that you create, it's just releasing and balancing. And it is, I can say with hand on heart, and this is why I'm the founder of Heart Art Magic. And the magic is my acronym for my ability to go into my center, because that's where the magic happens. So I remember at a workshop that I was hosting, a 15-year-old said, I feel as if I've been set free from a 25-year prison sentence. That's how that child felt after working with double doodling. So for me, it's been transformative, personally, professionally, and my creativity, it just opens new neural pathways in your brain as well. So even though you're allowing the child within you to come out and play, it has a profound effect. And sometimes you don't even give it that little bit of, it could be 2 minutes, it could be 5 minutes. That's all it takes. So if I just go back to my sharing my screen, and I'll just finish off with a couple more slides. And let me see. Okay. This is me at work, but in the journal, there's a couple of links there where you can see a few videos. They're only about 2 minutes long, where you'll see me working. So just to finish off, both hands, you can do double doodles in the air. Just need 2 pencils, Post-it notes, or paintbrushes and paint, and just notice how you feel. This is the important thing. Measure it, make a note, and when you do it, you will be so delighted because it does work. So the invitation is, what small step today could help you return to balance and flow? Double doodle and do, and just enjoy the outcome. Flip your frequency, because when your frequency is flipped to on, this is when it's on, you've got that whole brain integration, and this is what double doodle can help you achieve. So when we synchronize within, we can magnify peace without. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wonderful. I was doodling, as you said, and I was thinking, oh, really? My left and my right brain is not talking so much together. They were very different, the doodles.
Well, that's okay too, because once the hands are doing,
Yeah.
it's just the doing, because your body knows what it needs to do to rebalance, reboot, and reset. Your body knows what to do. All we have to do is give ourselves the time, as one of the speakers said earlier. Give yourself the time, because we need to take care of ourselves before we can take care of anybody else, and that's so important.
Thank you very much, Marianne.
Just one last thing. You could be sitting at traffic lights and nobody needs to know what you're doing. In a stressful situation, you can double doodle on your lap. Nobody will see what you're doing. So you can do it even when you're driving, when you're stopped.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. And now we also have Anne here. I want to welcome Anne Smets. She's a holistic health practitioner and founder of Soulestara. Is that the right way to pronounce it? Yes. With a foundation in the universal healing Tao system and over 2 decades of experience in complementary therapies, she guides individuals on the path of inner balance and soul reconnection. Her work combines Qi, Nei, Tsang, abdominal healing, Taoist practices, aromatherapy, and energy medicine with multi-dimensional modalities such as sacred activation, crystalline water light codes healing, and frequency-based therapists. Anne's mission is to help people restore their multiple layers of being: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and karmic, so they can step into resilience, joy, and sovereignty. She has worked internationally as a healer and well-being consultant, weaving together ancient practices with modern trauma science to support holistic health and awakening. So please welcome Anne Smets.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice introduction. Happy to be here. Happy about Mental Health Day.
What do you want to tell us today, Anne?
Yes, so I'd like to share a little bit of maybe myself and some nice practices that we can maybe exercise together just to keep in balance. It was nice to have Marianne's doodling demonstration. I loved it. And it, like she said, it all comes down to first taking care of ourselves before we can take care of others. And it's such a natural given that we usually as a human first want to look after others before and ourselves coming last. But if we really want to have balance and well-being, it starts within and within ourselves. So if we zoom in more on the topic of mental health for today, I feel that it's very much linked to a sense of safety. And very often, the way I look at us as a human, we are like multi-dimensional beings. And when we would zoom ourselves, we have a big telescope on our hand, for instance, and we zoom in and we look, basically all what's left is frequency, and that's what we're made of. And once we start to realize that, we also, I strongly believe that everybody has the innate capacity to have a perfectly happy, healthy, and balanced life. It's just sometimes, and that's why today's gathering is amazing, to share some easy tips and tricks and tools just to find that balance again. And I think most importantly in today's world, to calm down, how I call it, our monkey mind, because the brain is always so active and overwhelmed, can kick in easily. So maybe today I would like to focus more on how we can come to that state of peace and calm through the practice of the Taoist inner alchemy. That to me is my my lifeline. It's a practice that I implement in my day every day, because it's not complicated. And like Marianne says, it brings out fun and the inner child in you, and it's a massive support for balancing our central nervous system. To me, the central nervous system, basically, that's what it is. It gives us safety. It brings us the safety, or it needs to feel safe. We have that automatic fight-flight reaction from ancestral primal reactions, but we also have the rest and digest. When we can back to that, we really have a much better quality of life. And for me, the practice, I always focus on the abdomen, the belly, the gut, because this is also where the biggest nerve, the vagus nerve, which is basically the bridge between the physical and our energetic being, disconnected from the head down into the belly and behind the belly button. So I work a lot with the belly. And just a simple technique, let's say, for instance, if you have trouble falling asleep at night because the brain is still so active, what is a really nice technique is you take a little bit of a natural oil. It can be like an almond oil, for instance, because that's also full of vitamin E, so it's good for the skin. And you put a couple of drops in your belly button and you massage your belly button nice and gentle for a couple of minutes, because this is gonna also massage that vagus nerve, all the nerve ends in your belly. It's gonna then bring your oxytocin levels up again, and you're gonna immediately feel relaxed and have a better quality of sleep. Another exercise that I like to do is the shaking exercise, and maybe that's something that I would invite for all of us to do. We've been sitting, maybe some of you, for quite a while now, so I invite you all to stand up, please, if you can. So this is a practice from the Qigong, the Universal Healing Taoist exercises. And basically, we'll invite you first to just stand your feet hip width apart and just feel your feet on the floor, and roll the shoulders back a couple of times so your spine is nice and straight. And I invite you to close your eyes and just feel your feet on the ground. And maybe you want to get some extra support from Mother Earth, because she really helps us as well. So imagine deep, long roots coming down your feet, down into the earth. And just feel how your roots get really the warm golden light from the earth around the roots. Makes you nice and feel safe already and loved. And now take a nice deep breath in. And on the exhale, push your feet on your floor and try to push the floor underneath your feet so that your whole body is relaxed, and you start to shake. And you start to shake more and more. And you just don't want to hold anything. You just let your whole body go. Everything can wobble, also your belly, everything, all your bits. Just let it wobble and just feel how it all kind of releases that stagnant energy that we hold into our body all day long, day after day. Hands, head, neck, everything is like a puppet on a string. You just shake it all out. And then you can open your mouth we're gonna use sound as well. We're gonna do the ha sound. The ha is really healing our heart. So we go ha 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 ha, and just shake it out. And even if you are in your office and your boss is getting on your nerves, you just go in the toilet, close the door, and do it a couple of minutes. You will come out totally relaxed and you won't feel the need to stress anymore. And you can do this every morning when you come out of bed. Now gently ease the motion. And now feel inside, go within your body and just feel how every cell is awake. Everything is tingling. This is your new life force energy that has just been created because stagnation has left your body. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Place your hand on your heart for a moment and just go inside within your body. And for a moment, thank your heart and all your organs, your ligaments, your blood, your muscles, your bones. Thank it all for the hard work they do every day without even thinking. And just smile, smile within to all your organs, your belly. And release. Do you feel any more alive?
Oh, that was really wonderful. I needed that.
Yeah, it's so easy. And I think especially for like on the workplace, of even people at home, you know, we don't move a lot anymore. And movement is so important to just get that energy flow, the life force between also heaven and earth. We are just like channels between the two, and it just as we allow that flow through us, we also come whole again. Because I feel for me, everybody is a beautiful divine source light, but it's just over time and through conditioning we have forgotten, we've been disconnected with that. And so with micro little steps we can bring that back into our life. And once we make friends again with our body, we start to create that magic, the awakening again from within, then everything in life just, it's a ripple effect. It goes without as well. And I believe that is really key to, obviously it takes time, it doesn't go overnight, but we can slowly practice and change our lifestyle. For me, what's very important also is the whole package. It's movement, it's awareness, but it's also nutrition, it's water. That's why I work a lot with water as well. We can do so much, yeah, to bring that balance back and that state of happiness and joy which we all deserve. And yeah, that's our sovereign our sovereign being need to be expressed in this world. And I feel that the world is shifted so much, so there's more and more light, more and more love coming on this planet. So it's nice that we slowly all waken up to that again, and that life doesn't have to be a struggle, but that can be in flow and everybody's birthright, basically.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
I think I'll really going to use that in the morning before my clients come up. Otherwise, they will start wondering what I'm doing, I think. But I would very much like to thank all the presenters today. Jill, Jill Bauer, Demetra, Samaras, Marian Egan, and you, and Smets, for giving us new tools to our own mental health and to all our clients' mental health. And this is just like a droplet of water, because what you have done today is giving all of us more tools to help others. So what we are doing today is going out like rings in the water, like throwing a small pebble in the water, and you can see it all goes around. And I realized that we are the time is going, but I want to close our circle first, and before we open the Q&A, and I want to stop or end like I started with the meditation. So if we just put our hands on our lap and think that all around the world today, people are thinking about mental health. So just let us take some few minutes to integrate everything we've heard and practiced. So sit comfortably again on your chair or on the floor. Think that maybe we touch hands all around the world. If it's uncomfortable for you, close your eyes and feel the floor beneath your feet. Take a breath in and out. And as you go on breathing, think back over the tools you've gathered today. Whether it was a new perspective, a practical tip, or simply a moment of insight. Picture one of those tools in your mind. See it glowing softly, like a spark of light you can carry with you. Now imagine feeding that spark into your daily routine at work, into your meetings, your focus time, your leadership, your interactions, and see how it strengthens not only your mental endurance, but also your presence and connection with others. With each breath, let that sense of alignment and resilience settle into your body. So inhale calm, exhale clarity. Inhale focus, exhale strength. Take a deep breath in And as you exhale, imagine sending a ripple of steadiness and well-being outwards to your colleagues, your teams, your workplace, and to all of us here in this event at the World Mental Health Day today. And when you're ready, open your eyes and know that you leave this circle today not only with knowledge, but with an embodied resource you can return to anytime. So take a good deep breath in and out. And think about what you've learned. Think that we can go from here energized but grounded with new tools, new reflections, with harmonizing breath and visualization. And at the end, we will have a Q&A. So if you would like to raise your hand using the icon, and you can ask any question you want to any of the presenters. Please raise your hand if you have some questions. I think everything is very clear here. No, but oh yeah, Jill.
It's more of an observation to Marianne about her double doodling. So
Yeah.
I had premature twins. They were born a month early with learning issues. And at one of the twins' schools, they suggested that one of the twins started doing the double doodling, the figure eight. And we were in this new trial thing that the school was trying to bring in. And at the time, I'd just done kinesiology, so I understood exactly what that task was. So every morning on the way to school, I used to get one of my sons, Jake, who was, you know, very behind in his learning, just to use his fingers, double doodling, figure eights in the car to and from school. And then the school tested him after, I think this is a 12-week program that he was on, and his reading went from here to there. He almost, you know, he was so behind in having sort of statemented, having extra learning, extra lessons, just that simple thing, a couple of minutes a day, and he's learning, you know, he caught up with the rest, which was the kids in the school, which was just amazing. And then he went on to go to university and get a first degree. So, you know, it was just that simple task. He was organizing his brain, and, you know, there was a delay in his processing, and that just sort of speeded it up. So even though these things look simple, they can be so powerful. So I just wanted to say that to Marion, that's amazing. And I just felt the flow. I felt like really calm and, you know, into one of those frequencies when I was doodling along with that. So thank you.
Thank you, Jill, and thank you for mentioning that, because, you know, when somebody else hears that, it'll spark, you know, oh, I must tell so-and-so, you know. So, and the thing about it is, you know, when both sides of the brain are not integrated, it's like the way say it to clients is, okay, if you want to vacuum your floor and you plug in the Hoover, but it's not working. And it's not working because you forgot to put the switch on at the, the socket. So when the circuit is off, you don't have the connection. So the figure 8 is, literally with the double doodles, it's literally connecting left and right brain, just as I showed you in those slides. It's like the bridgeway between the two brains. And for me, it's been, from a personal point of view, like painting the way I do with both hands at the same time has been a life changer for me. And then passing that skill on to others. So thank you for mentioning that, Jill, because it's powerful. And it's wonderful to know that it helped your son so greatly. But it's so simple. And as I say, you can do it in the air. You don't even need pen and paper. But, I just like the pen and paper anyway, but you don't have to have it, it's great. And it's flipping your frequency from off to on. It's like flipping on a switch. Thank you, Jill. And I have a question for Jill too, just on the kidney point you were saying on the ankle. So I have a client who has recurring, kidney infections. So how would that help someone? Would that help someone with that condition, recurring kidney infections?
Well, think about when you've got a dysfunctional kidney or the kidney chi is low, that kidney 3 is going to support deficient chi, kidney chi. So, but it does so many things. It helps with sleep. So say, for example, they've got disrupted sleep because they're having to get up and go to the toilet, but it's also going to support their flow. It's just one of those points that does so many things. And it's called the taxi. And I always think of like getting a taxi and going on your journey and it taking you to the energy going to wherever it's needed.
Perfect. And how long would you hold the point for?
Well, sometimes if I am feeling fatigued or say I'm burnt out in my mind, I've got too much yang up here, and which then makes me a little bit deficient in my yin, I might put like an acuseed and put that on the kidney 3 point, and I'd sleep with that. If I sometimes get jet lag, if I go to a different country and there's a time zone, I will put an acuseed or a bit of rice and a bit of plaster and just put it on that point, and I'd wear it through the night, and that sort of aids sleep. And I think it just calms your kidney chi. So think about kidney and cortisol and adrenaline. It's going to calm all of those things as well.
Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I think having a question is great because it sparks something else that somebody else might want to say. So thank you so much for that. That's great.
You're welcome.
Could I ask a question to everyone? I'm actually a musician, and with what Marianne was doing, the doodle, I think about the coordination between the left and the right hand playing an instrument, but the German word for bagpipe is Dudelsack, and every time I think of that word, Marianne, I think of doodling. So when each of you, Marianne and Demetra and Jill, what would you recommend what might you suggest for musicians or professionals who are maybe musicians who have that as a hobby, just tips what they can do to bring themselves into balance perhaps before playing at a gig or just playing for fun? What might you recommend?
Well, I use a similar thing in Qigong practice, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm neurodivergent. So I use the figure 8s, or there are lots of different types of different patterns that we can use. You can also use your feet as well. So do you get like, there's this, I can't remember, dyslexic, can't remember the phase where you can play an instrument and then all of a sudden it's like writer's block, you get writer's block. So then what you could do is get into the position of playing whatever instrument you are playing. And then, if you're working with a kinesiologist, they will find out what points you need to work with. And then you get into the position, especially if you forget the notes, forget where your fingers are supposed to go. And then just ask what points you need to work with. So that might show up as, if you're stressed, triple warmer might come up, for example. And if you're performing, there could be some anxiety about the performance. And if you're a perfectionist and you don't want to make a mistake, there could be something about, making sure that you don't fluff the note or anything. So there could be lots of different things. And maybe what is the thing that comes up for you when you're going to play? What is the stress pattern that shows up for you?
Thank you.
And the other thing there, Colin, is if you think about the fiddle, the shape of it is like the infinity. It's like the figure eight, So even running your hands around the outside of it and imagining you're drawing the figure eight and get that feel and that sense of the figure eight kind of going from the fiddle right into your heart center. So you're making that connection with the instrument and it becomes one with you, the same way as when you're connecting left and right brain, you're making it a whole integration. So you're integrating with your musical item and, and it'll make your heart sing as well.
Thank you.
If I can chime in to what the ladies just said just now, Colin, the most important thing is movement and crossing your midline. So anything you do is bringing attention to your body, and that attention being crossing the left and the right side of your brain, of your body, of everything that you can bring attention to. Music is something that does cross the left and the right side of the brain. So that in itself is something that sparks the connection. But movement is the most key thing that I can actually suggest.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful for everybody being here, sharing this moment. And think about when you go to bed tonight that you can put your hands out and you know that we are many and we can be there for each other and we can make a big hug and take care of ourselves and our own mental health and then take care of others. So take a good hug on yourself and think that we're here for each other. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much for hosting.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.